He was born Michael King Jr., the future Martin Luther. He was nonviolent but no less a fighter.
He walked towards the fire.
Even as the flames of injustice grew higher.
In the heat of battle, he was rarely rattled.
A man with big dreams who casts a large shadow.
For today's generation of leaders to follow the path he traveled.
Even today's athletes feeling empowered and found their voices.
And now we're allowed the freedom to make their own choices.
Looking forward to the day we all could truly say,
free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Welcome inside the Convocation Center in Hampton, Virginia. Our thanks to Guy and Gaston Thomas for our open. It's the Hampton Pirates playing host to the Aggies from CAA on a day when the entire nation pauses to honor the legacy of the protagonist of the civil rights movement, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., on his holiday, MLK Day.
And welcome inside the Convocation Center. Alongside it's Tariq Turner. I am Fran Charles. Pleased to be with you as we honor and celebrate the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. with some college basketball, HBCU style here. We've got the Pirates of Hampton taking on A&T. But first off, your thoughts on what MLK Day means to you?
I mean, it's a day to appreciate and reflect on the impact of a man who did so much for our country and fought for racial justice, inequality, voting rights, just to name a few. And to celebrate it by watching two teams of young men compete and play basketball and get an education and live their life the way they want tells you all you need. And Dr. King should be proud that we're celebrating his life in a great way, watching some college basketball.
All right, so let's get to it. The matchup here, and for the Pirates, Kyrie Smolin, he is a force inside.
He's a dominant interior player, but he's a guy that can play inside and out, but most of his work is done in the paint. Downbounder, really tough to guard on the offensive glass. He's strong, he's powerful, he attacks the basket with force, and he's going to be a handful for any opposing team just because of his physicality. And on the other side, A&T, this is the guy right here, Landon Glasper, dynamic scorer, a terror in getting into the paint, very good with the ball screens. He's hard to guard because he's always moving, takes a lot of shots, and puts a lot of pressure on opposing defenses.
Game 4 of our quadruple header here on CBS Sports Network. North Carolina A&T taking on Hampton on what is Dr. King's actual birthday, January 15th. He would be 95 today. It's Hampton and A&T next on CBS Sports Network. With you as we get you set for A&T, the Aggies traveled to Hampton to take on the Pirates. Oh yeah, the Hampton band is in the house. We get to hear them at halftime. That's the head coach of A&T, Monty Ross. This is his first year as the head coach here at A&T, but remember, he spent 10 years head coach of Delaware, has had some great success, and before that, he was an assistant for a long time at Temple. And he's trying to see if he can get this program back on track. Look at the starting lineup. So you got Shell, Glasper's a guy to watch, as Tariq pointed out in our open there. And then for the Pirates, Wilcox Jr., Tristan Mackwell, Jordan Nesbitt. He missed the first 6 or so games, but he is back. He's eligible. He's healthy. Kyrie Smolin is going to be a beast inside. We're ready for tip. Referees tonight, Lamar Simpson, Olandis Poole, and Jamel Spearman. That's Eddie Jr. in his 15th season as a head coach at Hampton. 217 victories. And his team is trying to snap a 7-game losing streak. Comes from a great family of college basketball. His dad was a longtime coach for 16 years. His uncle coached for 35 years at Johnson C. Smith, where Eddie actually played. So here we go, the 71st meeting between A&T and Hampton. And we are off and underway. And it's Wilcox Jr. who controls the tip, and Jordan Nesbitt.
Both teams obviously want to get off to a good start. You know, this A&T team is going to start out man-to-man. They'll mix in some zone.
Mullen for 3 to start. Nice box out by Cam Shell. And it's the Aggies coming the other way.
And same for Hampton. They're going to start out in man-to-man as well. And this A&T team, they want to try to get some paint touches early and try to attack the paint instead of just settling for a jump shot. They want to get good ball reversal, make the defense shift.
And Uchenna Kelman Nichols kicks it in corner. Glasper. That's Robinson down on the low block going up against Mullen. The land shot clock violation, so good defense there by the Pirates.
Yep, you got to be happy with that if you're Ed Joyner. They worked on that this morning in shoot around, just rotating, communicating on defense, and getting off to a strong start. He's not worried about the offense. He's worried about the defense and sustaining it for 40 minutes.
And it's felt his team has been pretty close, even though they're right in the midst of a 7-game, 4-12 on the year. Inside, and that's Javon with the left hand.
Some good ducking by Vincent, and he's not known for scoring, but have a size advantage there.
Glasper for 3. Folks, get used to it. He'll fill it up all night long. Landon Glasper.
You got to keep your eyes on him. You can't leave him open, and he's going to shoot deep threes, quick shots, and you can't give him any airspace. He's such a dangerous scorer.
Yeah, Glasper had 3 games in November where he had 5 threes or more, and that's Tristan Maxwell. The beautiful layup.
He's a talented piece and more of a role player, but kind of an X-factor player. When he plays well, it gives him some scoring punch.
Uchenna Kelman-Nichols knocks down a 3-pointer, back-to-back threes here for the Aggies. Inside to Mullen, who wants space cleared out. And that's Maxwell, and going back the other way.
They want to play through Mullins, and he's going to get a lot of touches on the block, and they don't run a lot of stuff for him because he's such a tenacious offensive rebounder. But that was a good defensive stance for the Aggies, cutting off his angle to get to a clear lane to the basket.
Glasper steps back. Murphy gives it back to Glasper. High arcing shot won't go.
Nesbitt's length bothered Glasper, and he's 6'6", Nesbitt is, so that's a nice matchup to keep an eye on.
Big body, Mullen with the turnaround, it's short. Good transition defense by the Pirates. Jeremy Robinson, the pretty left, and Murphy, he can't get the foul to go.
Well, offensively, Hampton, they initiate everything through Nesbitt. He's their point guard. He's the guy that generates their offense from the perimeter.
And Benson draws the foul. And when we talked to Eddie Jr., again, they're midst of a 7-game losing streak, he said, look, we've had great first halves. That has been the problem. The problem has been finishing.
Yeah, and that's the challenge is can they sustain it for 40 minutes? They're hoping they can do that tonight.
Nesbitt with the handles, kicks it over to Maxwell. And there's Benson, in and out. Jason Murphy, since he's been back, he was a 2-time transfer, so once all that got worked out, he's back in the lineup as Murphy, number 13. Nice shot by Shell, that goes down.
Shell is their point guard, and he takes a lot of pressure off of Glasper. Both of these guys, Glasper and Shell, played together in junior college at Coffeyville, and they are a dynamic backcourt when they're well together and attacking the paint.
Maxwell looking inside. Mullen to Nesbitt for 3. And gets the soft roll.
Nesbitt's got to get going, and he missed a few games. You mentioned Fran earlier. He missed 8 games because he was ineligible, and now that he's in the lineup, he is their creator and their playmaker, and at 6'6", he can do a lot of damage.
A free run of the hoop. It's off with the left hand, comes down with the loose ball. That's Murphy working on Benson.
That's a good sign for the Aggies. Murphy attacking the paint.
It's a 1-point lead for the Aggies here. When we come back, Jason Murphy at the end of the line.
I told myself I was okay with my moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis symptoms, with my psoriatic arthritis symptoms. But just okay isn't okay, and I was done settling.
If you still have symptoms after a TNF blocker like Humira or Enbrel, Rinvoq is different and may help. Rinvoq is a once-daily pill that can rapidly relieve joint pain, stiffness, and swelling in RA and PSA, relieve fatigue for some, and stop joint damage. And in PSA, can leave skin clear or almost clear.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers including lymphoma and skin, heart attack, stroke, and GI tears occurred. People 50 and older with a heart disease risk factor have an increased risk of death. Serious allergic reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Done settling?
Ask your rheumatologist for Rinvoq.
And take back what's yours.
AbbVie could help you save.
Business can happen virtually anywhere, but there's nothing like being there. At National, you can skip the counter and choose any car in the aisle. Even manage your rental right from the app. So you can give some quality time to a quality cause. Swing by to see one more customer and really get down to business. Go National. Go like a pro.
University of Maryland Global Campus is a school for real life, one that values the successes you've already achieved. Earn up to 90 undergraduate credits for relevant experience and get the support you need from your first day to graduation day and beyond. What will your next success be?
Only Daisy Cottage cheese will do. Only Daisy Cottage cheese will do. So creamy and delicious. Only Daisy Cottage cheese.
College basketball on CBS Sports Network is sponsored by Intuit TurboTax. Make your moves count. By AT&T. Connecting changes everything. And delivered by Papa John's.
Some of the great alumni of both schools. There's Rick Mahorn, class of 1980, and his number is up here in the rafters. Mahorn obviously drafted by the Washington Bullets back in the day. Second-round pick. He played 18 years in the NBA.
He was not soft.
Oh, yeah, he was part of the Bad Boys Pistons team that went on to win an NBA championship. It was great, too. When they retired his number, man, he was very emotional. Always makes it back here and does not forget where he came from. Yeah. Murphy.
It's a great story.
At the line.
And, you know, Murphy, we'll talk a lot about him. Their main guy down low. And since he's come back, they've been a different team. They lost their first 8 games, but when he came back, they were able to stack a couple wins just because now they have a presence down low that they can dump the ball down low to score and be a rim protector.
Shell in the paint. Great dish to Murphy, but Joshua Lucey first strips it and then knocks it away. It's Shell along the baseline as they fight for it. Glasper comes up with a loose ball. Uchenna Kelman Nichols is off, and Wilcox Jr. comes back the other way. Transfer from Pawtucket.
It's going to be a physical game. Both teams know how important it is to rebound, control tempo. You see guys flying around, trying to establish their turf.
Nicholas Irakoudis down low, just checked in, and lays it up in a great look from Shell.
And you love the fact that Shell saw the floor and looked up and made a pass, but way to run the floor. Irakoudis, the freshman, who they're very excited about, has a lot of potential to be a really good player.
Mullen working on Irakoudis. Oh, nice move. Lays in the left hand.
And what you like about that is he took his time but was still decisive, and he saw the double team come. He splits it with a forceful move and goes up strong. That's why he's so hard to guard when he gets the ball that low in the paint.
Yeah, good footwork from Mullen, 6'7", 230. Mullen comes up with the pick, and Nesbitt is off to the races. The Euro step, and he gets it to fall.
This is a big-time move by Nesbitt. The length, the ability to keep his control and focus on the basket, not easy in traffic to finish, and you get a chance to see the talent by Nesbitt.
A&T took the season series a year ago, but Nesbitt totaled up 45 points in both games as Shell calmly sinks the 18-footer.
Shell's off to a nice start.
Sure
he's playing under control, but he's playing aggressive. And a nice job on the ball screen, creating space, and he came off that screen with the intention to shoot it.
Yeah, the sophomore from Winston-Salem, Shell. He and Landon Glasper played together at Coffeyville Community College. Mullen rejected, And it's Hitakutis comes up with a loose ball.
Nice job by Murphy coming from the back end on the weak side.
Shell with a quick first step, and he draws a foul.
So both teams starting to get their rhythm, starting to figure out where they can attack in the open court. They want to play with pace, and Nesbitt is the catalyst there. He's got the size and the ability to split the defense and doesn't mind the contact, but he's a big-time player. Has put up some big numbers in his career, and he's starting to get that sign, that feeling that he had last year as he's come back from missing the first few games.
And here is Cam Shell at the line. The crowd here doesn't agree with the call. By the way, students getting back on campus yesterday, so expected to have a good crowd here today.
It's a lively atmosphere. Got a band that's ready to rock and roll at halftime.
I can't wait to hear it. Ford Cooper checks in. Trey Thomas as well for the Pirates in white.
There's a little three-quarter pressure. They like to use this after made foul shots, 1-2-2. It usually drops back into a 2-3. They want to keep Hampton off balance by changing up their defense as they did there, forcing the turnover.
And here come the Aggies. Glasper over to Jalal Makai. That is Silky from the corner.
And Joyner's going to call a timeout, and I get it. Got to regroup.
Yeah, because look, Joyner told us they don't want this team to get hot and run away with it.
Nasal
on a 7-0 run in the last 55 seconds.
So Ed Joyner not happy with the attention to detail, and a lot of it has to do with Cam Shell really just attacking. And you got to be happy with the start the point guard's playing good so far.
And Cooper in the corner to Nesbitt. Mullen and Hitakutis working. And Kai is called for the foul.
When we talked to Monte Ross this morning, Fran, he talked about changing the defense up and not just being predictable. And we're seeing that now with the Aggies. Now they're back in man, but they're going back and forth between zone and man, and it seems to be working early on.
Here's Nesbitt, takes it strong to the hoop. Wild shot. Mullen tried to save it, and he does. This is the freshman Jerry Dang goes up strong.
Well, one thing that you know that Hampton is going to do is they're going to attack the offensive glass. And it's not just their horse.
Great job by Mullen to save it there.
Tyrese Mullen, but it's going to be by committee. And Nesbitt did a nice job of keeping that possession alive. And Jerry Dang, the freshman. This guy's 6'9", long, athletic.
We were at practice shoot around today. He looks taller than 6'9".
Yeah, he looks like he's about 6'11". They're excited about him. You know, he's coming off his fourth game with 10+ points a couple weeks ago.
This kid put up 37 earlier this year against Mary Baldwin. It's their last victory.
Yeah.
So he can fill it up as well. 18-12. A&T up by 6 here. Convocation Center in Hampton, Virginia.
The big thing to watch defensively is how Hampton guards Glasper in the ball screen. They're going to mix it up and try to stay in front of him.
Glasper with Cooper on him. And he knocks down the contested jumper.
And that wasn't bad defense. That's just a big-time shot by a guy who doesn't feel like he can miss. Glasper plays with a lot of confidence. He always feels like he's hot. And he puts a lot of pressure on defenses because he shoots about 18 shots a game, which is a lot.
Fourth in the CAA in scoring. Trey Thomas is off. Good hustle. But the Pirates can't convert. Hitakutis coming back the other way. And picked up the pivot foot. So things are starting to heat up a little bit. 20-12.
Landon Glasper, the 6'2" sophomore. He's got in the gym range, and he is not afraid. Knocks it down, makes it look easy.
blueprint on how to be a successful African American, how to stand up for what you believe in.
Martin Luther King was the embodiment and the portrait of what we want to be as men.
One of the main leaders of the civil rights movement, and he helped us get to where we are today.
As a black man and student athlete, I do think Martin Luther King's dream has been realized 100%.
Martin Luther King's principles continue to help me strive for greatness and fight for equality.
Yeah, great to hear some of the players and coaches talk about what Dr. King meant to them. And we talked to Eddie Joyner today, and he said, you know, look, we look up to our fathers. We learn about life through what our fathers laid down. Well, they looked up to him. He laid the blueprint. So basically, laid the blueprint for everybody.
That's right. And you know, he said it perfectly because it's about the impact and the legacy that he left. And carrying on that legacy, the work doesn't end now that he's gone. It's continuing. It's being reflected by these young men that we're watching tonight and these coaches. And Ed Joyner certainly appreciative and made that really beautiful statement to us earlier about what he meant to him, Dr. King, and also the community.
The Aggies up 8 here. Just about 11 minutes left in the first half.
So one thing that Hampton has not been able to do is crack this zone, and they're trying to get the ball into the middle of that zone. They haven't been able to really feel to get Mullins involved yet, and Mullen is working hard sealing his man, but they're doing a good job of shielding him.
Shot clock down at 2, and Hidakudis with a beautiful block.
Hidakudis is giving him a lift off the bench. You can get a sense of what kind of potential he has at 6'9". Nice job rotating, and he kind of stunned it over, but he kept Mullins next to him connected, but was able to rotate and get a good, nice, clean block.
The freshman from Greece. Mackay in the corner with Cooper playing good defense, and Mackay pulls back.
Mackay's kind of a Vinnie Johnson microwave kind of player, and when he makes shots, it takes pressure off of the Aggies' front court because he's a guy that gives you some offensive spark, and you know, they're running a 5-out kind of motion offense, which is hard to guard.
Dang for 3, knocks it down.
You knew that was good. He lined that up perfectly. The 6'9" freshman can stretch the floor, very comfortable with catch and shoot situations.
But they got to play some defense. A&T has knocked down its last 5 shots. And Shell, good defense by Cooper. Hidakudis and Mullen. They're going to call Mullen for the foul. He likes to play physical. That's what he told us.
He prefers it that way.
Yep.
I mean, it hasn't gotten to that point yet, but he wants to impose his will and bang down low. That's when he's most comfortable. But so far, he hasn't really been a factor as he goes out for a quick breather.
Shell gets it into Glasper up top. Glasper straight down the lane, off the mark, but he gets his own board.
Yeah, that's another thing that you have to account for is the offensive rebounding, so crucial.
Shell going across the lane, across his body, off the glass.
And he rejects the ball screen. Both Shell and Glasper are dangerous ball handlers with the ball screen action, and you know, Hampton's trying to shrink the floor and ice the ball screen, but they're doing a good job of reading the defense and getting into the cracks and finishing at the paint.
Maxwell over to Cooper. Dang. Oh, great defense by Mackay. Remember, Monty Ross told us, he told you, Mackay off the bench, he's our spark plug.
Yeah, he's one of their X factors, and he's playing like it. You can get a real idea of how he impacts his team.
Mackay trying to fill it up from 3. It's off the mark. Dang pulls down the rebound, and Wilcox brings it up. Dang inside to Benson.
Another nice job by Hidakudis defensively, keeping his hands up. He went vertical and altered that shot with his length.
Hidakudis fakes the 3. No shot, but Benson called for the foul.
A&T guards continue to attack off the bounce, and it's a great job of attacking that ball screen and getting straight into the paint. No resistance, no help side rotation. And Shell has been constantly attacking the paint off the bounce, and They have not rotated Hampton to slow him down.
Yeah, so Benson's going to take a seat as he picks up another foul. Iracutis. Yes, sir.
He's a good-looking player. He looks real comfortable. He's catching and not hesitating. He kept the ball high. He didn't drop it, allow it to get stripped, and smooth release for the freshman.
Wilcox from the corner. All right, that's what the Bucks need. Turn to the bench there, the Aggies. So, a little rivalry here.
Yeah.
Glasper, good work inside, but he just loses it.
Well, they were in a rut offensively,
and look at Wilcox trying to get
trying
to get the team fired up.
Titus with a nice touch. The big man from East.
And great point, too, you made, too. Didn't bring the ball down. Kept
it straight up. They teach you that, but a lot of guys aren't able to do it. And he's got a lot of intangibles at Titus. I'm impressed with his skill set at 6'9".
Jordan Nesbitt back in the game. Dang looking inside the Mullen. They work it around. Wilcox, the Mullen inside to Dang. Good ball movement.
And that's just good intending and a good recognition by Dang, because he knew that Mullen was going to draw the double, so he cut baseline and knew that Mullen would find him.
So the Pirates, they say, hey, don't forget about us. All we got to do is make a few shots. And they've cut the lead now for the Aggies down to 6. Thursday at 2 Eastern, get ready for a can't-miss showdown on the pitch as Napoli and Fiorentina face off in the Supercopa semifinal. It's here on CBS Sports Network and streaming live on Paramount Plus. Anybody want an avocado? Huh? Tell you what, the floor general for A&T has been Cam Shell.
But he's come out with a real aggressive mindset to get in the paint, and no one's been able to slow him down. He's very good in ball screen situations, changing speeds, reading the defense, and just probing into that paint and finishing over bigger opponents. He is a key component to their backcourt. When he plays well, that's a good sign.
Shell had a double-double earlier this year against High Point. It's been a double figure so far 10 times this year, so it looks like he's close to getting there again today. As it's a 6-point lead, though. So A&T they've made 7 of their last 9, but Jerry Dang and company, they've battled back.
Yeah, Jerry Dang, a freshman, and when we spent some time this morning with Kyrese Mullen, he said he took Jerry Dang under his wing and spent all summer in the weight room, just those two. And even though Kyrese Mullen is only a sophomore, showing that upperclassman seniority to take his young buck and get him ready, and he's showing that tonight, giving him a nice impact.
Yeah, I like the leadership by Mullen.
And now Hampton in the 2-3 zone.
Glasper turns around the free throw line, and that is pure smooth as silk.
Just great zone offense. They put Glasper right in the middle of the zone and ball fake to get him straight to the basket for a clean look.
Dang up top. Wilcox Jr.
They're trying to get the ball down to Mullen.
Look at those two bodies banging. Murphy and Mullen inside.
Murphy's not having it.
Ah, but good job. Yep, Murphy.
He's making it work.
End.
Murphy's physical too. He's a big body. He's taller than Mullen. He's 6'9", doing a nice job of fighting over the top. You can watch them. You know, Mullen's trying to front him, but Murphy just used his length and 3/4 sealed him, or 3/4 fronted him.
Yeah, I mean, Mullen's only 6'7".
Yeah.
You know. Turnaround spin, good defense, blocked by Murphy, and it's a violation.
Yeah, you could just see the impact that Murphy brings to this team, and you know, he's a shot blocker, he's a rim protecting guy that can help and rotate and plug up a lot of holes when the guards get beat. And nice job being physical with Mullen. That's the way you got to guard him. You got to put up a fight, put up some resistance.
Uchenna, Calvin Nichols, nicely done.
Good looking shot, and you got to be happy. The Aggies have come out here and played good basketball. They're shooting the ball well. They're getting what they want, and they're in a nice rhythm offensively right now.
Here's Nesbitt. He'll take a deep three. And so Nesbitt.
He has the ability to get hot, and you see him talking to himself because he wants to get himself going. And they're going to call.
They call a foul on Tyrese Mullins. And Wilcox trying to keep his teammate fired up.
And that might be his second. I think it is his second.
So Eddie Joyner has to take his star out of the game. Mullen, by the way, he leads the CAA in rebounds.
I'm not sure where the contact was there, but maybe they.
Shell back in the game. Glasper for three. It's off the mark, and Dang pulls down the board.
With Mullen out of the game, that means that Nesbitt has to be even more aggressive. He's not afraid to do that, but those are the two key go-to guys.
There's Tristan Maxwell. Good fake. And so shots starting to foul a little bit here for the Pirates.
Yeah, that's a good-looking shot, and a shot fake creates some space. The 6'3" guard.
Shell is off the mark. It's Joshua Lucane. Just checked in for the Pirates. He comes down with the board.
And Ed Joyner wants his team to play loose and stay aggressive offensively. They want to continue to attack.
Nesbitt loses it. It's off Shell.
Here's Nesbitt with the penetration, and then Maxwell gets the guy flying in the air, and he's a scorer. Confident three-point shooter, reading the defense, and makes a nice play.
Lead down to three. And Wilcox trying to make it down to one. And he does, gets a friendly roll.
Nice job attacking the basket. And he's more of a slasher than a shooter.
Aggies had it up to 9 points. It's now a 1-point lead. Hampton on an 8-0 run. That's Kyle Duke just into the game. Off the mark. And now Hampton can go up.
Yeah, it's a game of runs, and Hampton's starting to get some confidence with their best player on the bench.
Hampton's last lead was 4-3. Lucane inside, power move as he moves to his right.
Yeah, nice look by Nesbitt, and a nice job by the big man. Lucane sealing his man, putting him on his backside.
Wilcox imploring the Pirates. Let's go, bringing the energy.
And Wilcox did a nice job closing out on Glasper there, not giving him any airspace.
Duke pulls up at the free throw line, off the mark.
So defensively, the Pirates cracking down. They get a couple stops, and that's been a concern by Ed Joyner. You can't let your defense suffer from your offense, and if you're not scoring the ball, you still got to lock in on the defensive end.
Lucane comes up with the screen. Nice give, back to Lucane.
That's just a great read. Little two-man screen action and a nice slip by Lucane, the big man.
Pirates in a rhythm, and Monty Ross wants a timeout.
Hampton making a nice push, and it starts with Nesbitt with the playmaking, and Lucane, the big man, finishing around the rim. Pirates feeling good right now.
Coming up on the AT&T at the half, Keanu Martin, Roy Hibbert, Tariqa Foster-Brasby, and Gary Parrish. They get you caught up with all the action in college basketball. Plus, we'll have first half stats and highlights. We'll also be showing some of the great performance of the Hampton University Marching Force.
They got it turned up in here right now.
Oh, yeah, got it turned up loud. We'll hear more of that coming up after half. Jordan Nesbitt has been the catalyst for the Pirates as they're on a 12-6 run here. Meanwhile, A&T in the midst of a scoring drought over the last 3 minutes, and so it is Hampton on top by 3.
They'll call that on Wilcox.
Wilcox.
They put Wilcox, who's 6'6", on Glasper. A bigger, longer opponent. He'll go out, but You know, as Coach Joyner told us earlier, he's going to throw a lot of bodies at Glasper, and everyone's going to get their turn.
They've done a pretty good job with Glasper so far.
Yeah, they have, and you know, you can't relax because he takes 20 shots, so he can heat up real quick, and he's going to continue to attack, as you see there.
By Thomas, and he draws a foul. Let's take a look at tonight's Intuit TurboTax player profile, and it's Tedrick Wilcox Jr.
Who would you say he looks like?
Well, to me, he's a dead ringer for Jalen Rose.
I can't disagree.
From Pawtucket, Rhode Island.
Looks like Jalen. He does have a Jalen resemblance there.
The transfer from St. Francis College. I got a couple.
Similar size. Jalen might be a little taller, but same body type, similar facial features too. They do look alike. You're good. That was good.
I've got one for Glasper. We'll
get
drop
to that in the second half. Right now, Glasper is trying to get his rhythm, and he's the kind of player that doesn't need to hit a couple shots to get hot because he's got so much confidence. To put pressure on the defense.
Trey Thomas with the strong move beats Hidakudis, and the Pirates.
Well, Hidakudis tried to close out, and he wasn't low, and that was a great job recognizing that by Trey Thomas.
Oh, back to Hidakudis. Good ball movement. And right now, the Aggies just can't get the shots to drop.
Here's Trey Thomas just attacking the closeout. He knew he had him because he was too high, and he's attacked him baseline with that quick first step. And Trey Thomas is the guy that can get you some buckets off the bench.
Shell for three. And that's a much-needed bucket for the Aggies.
It's the Shell and Glasper show. Those two guys carry the offensive load for this team, and then you got Murphy down low. They haven't really gotten involved, but he can certainly be a guy that you can throw the ball down to.
2:30 left in the half. And Murphy will call foul.
Here's a nice inbounds play. This drives coaches crazy, by the way, because they worked on this morning. The inbounder is usually the most dangerous man, and when Shell gets the ball, he inbounded the ball, then he just creeps around and just sneaks behind the defense. They set a great screen for him. He does a great job of moving without the ball, getting some separation to knock down another jumper.
Thomas, a sophomore from Washington, D.C., 6'2", $185. He's also a key player who the Pirates got back. Trey Thomas and also Jordan Nesbitt. And so this is just his 8th game so far of the year. And Mullen telling us earlier today that it's Thomas and Nesbitt. They get the guys going. They keep the team loose. They can have everybody cracking up from sun up to sundown.
Nice pass.
Great look from Shell to Hidakudis.
That Shell just getting into the paint. They have not been able to stay in front of Shell. He's been the most aggressive player for this Aggie team in terms of dribble penetration.
A&T claws back to within one. Thomas. It's Bannister Jr. in the air, off the glass. Won't go.
This is when the Aggies are dangerous, when they push with tempo.
Oh, behind the back, Glasper, but it's rejected by Bannister.
They got numbers here, 4-on-2.
Nesbitt with the Euro in the corner. Off the mark, Hidakudis pulls it down.
And they dodged a bullet there, the Aggies, because they were outnumbered and Hampton unable to convert with the transition opportunity.
Crowd ready to erupt. Hidakudis. Kelman Harris, Nichols wide open. Kelman Nichols.
Yeah, Kelman Nichols made the shot, but that's all Shell. But his dribble penetration, the hockey assist, and the way the defense shifts, it opened up a free shot or an open 3-ball for Kelman Nichols.
Thomas says, all right, you're gonna give me the space, I'll take advantage of it.
Trey Thomas, they want him aggressive, they want him to attack. And he's done that off the bench, giving them some nice offensive firepower.
Minute to go, knotted up at 39. Glasper from way downtown, it's off the mark. Thomas, he wanted Maxwell to hit him on the bomb.
for a touchdown, and Maxwell said, everybody cool out.
Aggies going to drop back into a zone at 2-3. We've seen this look a few times.
15 differential shot clock. Bannister Jr. for 3. It's good. So the Pirates have found their stroke here in the second half of the first half.
Good ball movement and making the extra pass, and the Aggies are 0 for 1.
All right, last shot here. 5 seconds left. Glasper is going to pull up. Glasper
Big time shot.
And so Landon Glasper Jr. He comes up with a big 3-pointer. And what a fitting way to end this first half.
I mean, it only makes sense that Glasper would take the last shot of the half. Everyone in the gym knew he was going to take it. And this is a tightly played game, and Glasper navigating that ball screen and doesn't even hesitate. Big time 3 by Glasper. We got a tie game here.
All right, so coming up after the break, we'll listen to the Hampton Band. We're tied up half between the Pirates and Aggies. It's a good one at 42. Jones. Yeah, what? All right, that's a good listen to the Hampton to Virginia. They're fired up. We got a good one here. It's knotted up at the 42 between the Pirates and the Aggies, alongside Tariq Turner, I and Fran Charles. Neither of these two teams, Tariq, they've been tied at halftime. So really the first half, a story of two halves. I mean, first for the Aggies and the Pirates.
Yeah, it's interesting because both teams shot 50% from the field, and both teams shot great from 3. It's going to come down to which team can get stops. And what jumps out is, for Hampton, they had 20 bench points to just 11. And I thought the backcourt of A&T was phenomenal. Shell and Glasper, both 11 points apiece. Those two guys have to play well and sustain it to come out with a win on the road.
And Glasper has had now 16 consecutive games where he has scored in double digits. And Cam Shell with a big first half as well. And the question for Eddie Joyner's club, as he told us earlier today, we've been great in the first half. It's the second half where things haven't quite gone the way we wanted them to. And he said a lot of that is mental. Jeremy Robinson loses it. Wilcox comes back the other way. And it's Kelvin Nichols' kickball.
And to your point, Fran, about what Coach Joyner said, being able to sustain it, a lot of the reason he's had trouble getting 40 minutes to sustained productivity is that these guys are in new roles. A lot of these guys like Maxwell playing starters minutes, he's never done that before. So sometimes there's a drop-off in the second half, and he's hoping, Coach Joyner is, that they can sustain it for 40 minutes and not let stretches where they're not scoring the ball affect their defense.
Mullen, three from the corner. It's off the mark. And it's Glasper with the board coming back the other way. 42 all inside to Murphy. Lucane, good defense. Blocked by Lucane. They're scrambling for it. And they call a loose ball foul.
Lucane does a lot of the dirty work down low and probably doesn't get credit, but he means a lot to this team in terms of giving them some girth, some physicality, and the ability to guard bigger opponents. He's about 6'7", Murphy about 6'9", but holding his ground, able to get a block and recover that ball. It is so important for their interior defense.
Lucane, 6'7", grad student. Played at Campbell University. Tristan Maxwell, that's soft and pretty.
He looks good. He's playing with confidence. He's playing with pace. And the ability to use that step-back dribble to create space is what allowed him to get that shot off. He's got to continue to stay aggressive.
Maxwell's daddy was Vernon Maxwell.
Yes,
Mad Max.
Mad Max. He was a bad man.
A two-time NBA champ, Houston Rockets, 94 and 95. Great pass to Inakutis, who kicks it out to Glasper, who's wide open for three. Off the mark. Oh, good hands by Inakutis.
You can see defensively Hampton changing up their ball screen coverage. That's going to be a big talking point in the second half. To keep Shell and Glasper out of the paint, how can they do that? And they're trying to shrink the floor and ice the ball screen, but they're going to have to mix it up.
Nesmith swings it around. Mullen back to Maxwell. Off the mark. Glasper coming back the other way. Nice dish to Inakutis, who used the left hand.
That's just great two-man action. And one thing that people forget about it, Glasper very good in hitting the roll man, and Hiddekitis did a nice job of screening and rolling to the basket, finishing with the left.
Glasper, just a real complete player offensively. It's almost like he's just floating out there.
And the thing about the screen and roll is what is so effective because it makes the defense have to make a decision here. And, you know, they converge on Glasper, and then they forgot about Hiddekitis, who did the right thing by rolling to the rim. That's why you see so many teams use the ball screen action. It puts the defense in a position where they have to make a decision and figure out how they want to guard.
Glasper picks up his first foul of the evening. Maxwell sets the offense. Knotted up at 44. Nesbitt. Skip pass. Good look to Lucane.
That's Maxwell again making plays, and you know he's just reading the defense. He's made a number of outside shots, but there he just gets into the paint, draws the defense in.
What a free throw for Hiddekitis.
Well, Hiddekitis is he's balling. I mean, this guy looks really comfortable. We've seen him show his back to the basket and score. We've seen his face up. We've seen him rebound as well.
Lucane powers through, and he uses the glass. Jeremy Robinson, the lefty. Inakutis battles, and it's Maxwell who comes up with it.
So far, so good for Eddie Jr.'s crew in the second half. We want to see that intensity stay up we saw in the first 20 minutes. Off the mark is Mullen.
Well, he's having a tough night, and he's going to have to convert some of those chippies around the basket.
Robinson gets it back, leans in, and a favorable position for a left-hander. Jeremy Robinson, he comes through.
Jeremy Robinson, a 6'6" grad senior, undersized but good around the basket. A lefty, a little awkward because of the lefty, but he's an important role player to this team.
In and out for Nesbitt, and it's Kelvin Nichols who comes down with it. Shell looking up to Itakudis. It is blocked by Lucey. Pirates coming back the other way. Maxwell across the lane, and good defense from the Pirates. Hey, Lucey off the mark. Good hustle by Wilcox. Into Mullen, up against Itakudis. With a floater, it won't go. Glasper coming back the other way. Behind the back, they've got numbers. Shell with the pretty left hand, misses the bunny. And here comes Nesbitt.
Game going back and forth. And, this is a style of play that both teams don't mind running in transition, unable to convert. The Aggies on that last opportunity. And A&T is trying to separate a little bit. They're trying to increase the tempo. Hitakaitis, no good, but the tempo is definitely turning up. Both teams playing desperate.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. really means a lot to me. It means equality, and let's have the respect of treating each other like we're human beings. That's what Dr. Martin Luther King means to me.
Rick Mahorn was a force here at Hampton University back in 1980. How about that? Second all-time in school history in points.
I mean, if you asked him if he envisioned having an 18-year NBA career, I don't know if he's totally being honest, would have expected that. But he's a guy who did it the hard way. He worked. He was not a glamorous player. He was a role player that embraced his role as a tough, physical defender, a rebounder. And he went on to have a great career with the Detroit Pistons and won a couple rings.
Yep, part of that 89 Pistons team that won the NBA championship. Also a member of the Virginia Sports Hall of Fame. Knotted up at 48. We got a good one here at the Convocation Center.
But we're seeing a lot of offense, Fran, but we're not seeing a lot of defense. And I don't mean that disrespectfully, but which team can get a couple stops together is what I think is going to really kind of give you a sign of which team's going to separate.
Strong move by Trey Thomas. Put the Pirates up by 2.
Well, he's been great off the bench, giving them a spark, and they want him in an aggressive mindset and continues to attack off the bounce.
Yeah, Thomas and Nesbitt, good X factors off the bench. Glasper no go. Speaking of Nesbitt, they've got numbers. Lays it up. And they were looking for some fireworks.
They got a 3-on-1 here. They got to convert.
Glasper all alone. Itakudis with the board.
And that was a good shot by Glasper because he had 2 guys under the basket to rebound it, and it was a 3-on-1 opportunity. And Hitakaitis has been the guy to claim all the loose balls on the glass for the Aggies.
The youngster Jerry Dang is in. So Mullen is getting a break. Wilcox from deep range. High arcing shot. And it's off the back of the iron.
That went up to the clouds.
Yes, it did. And Coach Joyner said, we got to get him going again. Started off the season so nice. But he's cooled off a little bit. Shell lost it. And Glasper, he's got the long Dang on him. So it's good defense by Dang. Wow, Dang was open in the corner. He wanted a good look at 3. What'd I tell you, Tariq? What'd I tell you? He wanted that 3. He was in the corner.
He heard you.
Yeah, that's right.
And I'm not mad because he's got a beautiful stroke. He's playing with confidence and just a freshman.
His family from the Sudan is Itakudis.
I mean, we're seeing 2 freshmen show off tonight. It's, really impressive to see Hiddekitis. And
Nesbitt
Dang.
pulls back. The offense is on point at the Conversation Center. Shell loses it, gets it back.
And he just rocked Thomas to sleep with a nice hesitation dribble, and so hard to guard, and Thomas was worried about a screen. Shell just continued to attack his feet and got into the paint again. The Aggies back in that zone. They're trying to protect the paint, but also be mindful of the shooters, especially Dang, who's...
Dang threw it away. There was 10 on the shot clock. Glasper coming back the other way. Tried to beat Wilcox.
I do like the matchup with Wilcox at 6'6" on Glasper.
Yeah,
he's got the foot
just
speed
6'2".
and he's got the length.
Skip pass, and it's blocked by Nesbitt.
Great close out there by Nesbitt.
Thomas, a little shake and bake. Spin move, up and under, and Trey Thomas lays it in.
And he looks at the crowd like, look, that's what I do.
Shell comes right back. Good job by Dang. Keep his position. Bodies everywhere. Nesbitt keeps his dribble. Kelvin Nichols with some good defense. Got to get it across. Hiddekitis. Oh, he goes up strong, but it's blocked by Nesbitt.
I like the energy from this crowd. Nesbitt trying to get the crowd hyped up. So this Aggie team is not going away. We got a battle here in the CAA on MLK Day.
Bodies flying everywhere. First is Trey Thomas. The spin move, lays it up and under. It's the Pirates by 4. Nesbitt up in the air. He's a former Big Ten commissioner. He is now the president and CEO of the Chicago Bears. And good to see all the young faces in the house as well. The Convocation Center. And we are being treated to a good contest tonight.
Yeah, no, it's just shaping up to be a really nice battle here. And you had the sense that it was going to be intense all the way through. And it was tied up at the half, pretty much evenly split in every statistical category. And now the Pirates trying to get a little separation, but you know, A&T is not going away. Hiddekitis has had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, the freshman from Greece misses on that end, but he is already set a new career high with 14 points. His previous career high was 11. And this year earlier, Monty Ross's club taking on Citadel. And so that's his 15th point of the evening. And it's 58-55. Pirates on top. Just over 11 minutes left. And Kelvin Nichols.
And one guy we haven't talked a lot about is Kyrie's Mullen. And don't forget about him. I know you haven't, Fran, but I mean, to our viewers, this is a guy who is a hard hat lunch pail guy, leading rebounder in the CAA. Averages 15 and 10, or almost 10 rebounds, 3 offensive rebounds a game.
Dang again from 3. High arcing shot, gets his own rebound. And the long fellow leans in.
Well, that's what you want from your young freshman. Don't give up on the play. Good heads up. Offensive rebound follow-up by Ding. And we're seeing 2 freshmen having a coming out party on national TV. Jerry Ding for Hampton and Nicolaitis for A&T.
On the line for, again, the Pirates are trying to snap a 7-game losing streak. Hiddekitis over to Kelvin Nichols, the baseline. And that was pure.
Yes, it was. And Kelvin Nichols is their defensive guy. He's a defensive stopper, but he's more than that. We've seen him play under control and pick his spots. And he's shaping up to be a nice two-way player for this A&T team.
Shot clock down to 13. Nesbitt says, why not? Glasper pushes. Jalal Makai.
And those are the shots that they like to take, those early transition threes. Hampton didn't get back in transition and didn't identify shooters.
8th tie of the night between the Aggies and the Pirates. Maxwell, left hand finger roll.
It's that hesitation dribble freezes the defense, and I like the fact that Maxwell is mixing his game up, not just settling for the jump shot, attacking the paint.
And that's Evan Joyner, number 5 in the game for the Aggies. Itakuda spins. Good pressure defense by Maxwell. Bodies everywhere. Mackay's got it.
Tried to call a timeout.
And they call jump ball, possession arrow. He's going to go to Hampton.
Good hustle by both teams. And when you're desperate for a win, as both these teams are, you got to be the first on the floor here. Hidakaitis is in a mismatch, and Maxwell knew that Hidakaitis couldn't stay with him. Look at the hustle here. Glasper the first to the floor, and usually the first to the floor is the team that gets the ball.
And both these teams, even though their records, you know, Hampton 4-12 and A&T 3-13, they feel like they played better than that, mauling along the baseline. You know, keep in mind, you know, for A&T, Monty Ross, first year here, he put his boys through the gauntlet. I mean, the non-conference schedule. Here's what they started with: Pittsburgh, UNC Greensboro, and Virginia. Has to start the season.
Yeah, and when we talked to him, he said, hey, we wanted to see where we were, and we don't want to get to league play and not be ready. And the thing he was concerned about was, well, if we get blown out, does it affect the team's psyche? He said it did not. And you can tell that these guys believe they can compete, they can win, and they use those early games as stepping stones to keep building some momentum, which they're trying to do now.
And here's Mullen here. I mean, this is first free throw attempt. Tomorrow morning at 6:30 Eastern, don't miss the 2024 FIH Hockey Olympic qualifiers as the best in the world face off and look to seal their fate for this year's Paris Games. Catch all the action here on CBS Sports Network.
A&T, Hampton in the zone. They're in a man-to-man, but they disguise it as a zone.
Shell off the mark. The triple.
Oh, that's an offensive foul. Easy call. Mullen tried to seal Hidakaitis and just plowed right into him. Now, Mullen, we know he wants to be physical, but I mean, come on,
a little too much.
I mean, you can't Debo the man and just knock him down.
So, a bit of foul trouble. So Mullen will take a seat. And Lucene will come in.
One guy that's been a little quiet in the second half, but he's still very important, is Cam Shell, and he's been more of a facilitator in the second half. In the first half, he was looking for his shot. Expect him to ramp up his aggressiveness down the stretch.
Glasper up in the air, leaves his feet. Good body control.
That's just a tough shot. I mean, it was not bad defense, but he just has a knack for scoring and doesn't care how big you are. He's going to attack you.
You got to tip your cap to the sophomore from Fayetteville, Arkansas. Maxwell up top. Yes, sir.
Maxwell playing with a lot of confidence, had a smaller opponent on him, Michelle. He got the switch he wanted.
Good reversal. Glasper. Oh, my. Glasper from about 25.
We're seeing a lot of offensive firepower. And Glasper,
7 times he scored 20 or more points. He's had 3 30-point games. Both these teams have been in the CAA for a couple of years, and Glasper is the only player on A&T, as a 3 is off there by Thomas. He's the CAA Player of the Week. It's the first time it's happened for an Aggie since they joined the CAA. This guy is fun to watch. 4th in the conference in scoring, and he gets it done inside and both out.
trying to run him off some screens. He does a great job of moving without the ball.
Off the mark, Lucene comes up with the loose ball. Thomas. And Maxwell will set it up. 10th tie of the evening, 65 all. With just under 7 to go here.
They're trying to run the set for Maxwell again. They want to get him open.
Maxwell. They're going to call an offensive foul, say he pushed off.
Good job by Shell, and we're seeing a lot of offense. Maxwell making it happen, having one of his better games, and then Glasper, a bucket.
Showdown. Historically black colleges and universities team up with CBS Sports for the 3rd annual HBCU All-Star Game. Watch the best from around the nation compete live from Phoenix Sunday, April 7th on CBS and streaming live on Paramount Plus. Second half, Hampton Pirates have gotten it done defensively, and also they've kept the pressure on.
Yeah, they got 4 guys in double figures, a balanced scoring attack, and a lot of it's come from their bench. Jerry Dang has been excellent, and even though Kyrie has been quiet, they've been able to figure things out with their bench production.
Yeah, nice job by Tristan Maxwell. How about this? Both these teams have been red hot. A&T 10 for 22. Hampton shooting 50% from the field. Landon Glasper, I will say he's under control offensively. 16 points, but the 8 boards.
Yeah, and he shot 17 times. So, I mean, he's not afraid to let it fly. And, you know, you look at those percentages, it's not very efficient, but he is still a guy that you got to account for down the stretch. And this guy right here, Wilcox, a lot of potential here on the HBCU All-Star watch list. And I know why, because he's 6'6", versatile, you know, and he's a guy that can impact the game, not just scoring, but rebounding, guarding multiple positions, and his athleticism stands out.
Yeah, he leads the Pirates with 8 rebounds as well. Glasper double team.
Trying to trap Glasper on the ball screen. That's another look they're trying to do.
Mackay short.
And with Kyrie mulling out and not having the game we're used to seeing, down the stretch, it's going to be Dang and Nesbitt that have to carry it away, and Maxwell, who's been excellent as that 3rd scorer.
3 personal fouls for Mullen. Dang. Good footwork, but couldn't convert. And then the ball bounces out the top of the backboard. There is Jalal Mackay. Lonnie Ross saying, when this guy comes off our bench, he gives us an offensive boost. You're not going to see it in the numbers, shooting percentage. You're not going to see it in game high scoring, but off the bench, he is a scorer. Make no mistake about it. Dang rips it away. The freshman having a really nice game.
Yeah, he's a major minutes, and it's going so well that Dang, I can see him playing through the stretch of this 5 minutes left.
That's a good look inside to Lucien.
That's just great offense there, and a little misdirection there. And Lucien, who's done a nice job of finishing around the paint, and great look by Nesbitt.
Pirates by 2, 5 minutes to go. And we've got a barn burner here. Conversation center. Murphy, good move in the paint.
Yeah, decisive. He went straight to his patented move. That's his go-to move, the left shoulder jump hook. He doesn't get a lot of touches, but when he gets one-on-one coverage, they want him attacking and trying to get to the middle of the paint to get that jump hook off.
Nesbitt tried to draw the foul, and he did.
Costly foul. Three shots for Nesbitt, and get a chance to look at that last play with the big man. Oh, this is Nesbitt. He draws 2 off the screen action, and when you draw 2, that obviously means it's someone open. And here's Murphy going to work. The big man giving them some balance in their interior scoring.
You got to be careful too. And Nesbitt got away with it there. He's an offensive shooter. You don't want to throw your legs out there too. He was trying
Reggie
to draw
Miller
some
style.
contact. So 11 points, 5 boards. And Nesbitt can make it 12. Again, last year in the season series, Eddie Joyner's club lost both games, but this young man right here tallied up 45 points in the 2 games.
Yeah, he went off. Went off. Tied a school record for field goal attempts. It was 9 for 29 in one of his games versus A&T.
Kelman Nichols in the corner, up top to Shell. Shot clock at 15, and it's in Glasper's hands. And the long, sinewy Wilcox on him. Shot clock down to 7. Kicks it out. Kelman Nichols for 3. Rebound by Murphy. Oh, he missed the bunny.
He did everything right except finish.
And then he's grimacing on the way up, but does make it down the floor. Glides in.
And that's when Wilcox is at his best, attacking in transition, and nobody gets back to slow him down. And Wilcox with a nice finish.
Shell with a nice drive to the hoop. And we got a timeout on the floor. We're going back and forth here.
Yeah.
And Hampton, behind the back for Wilcox. Why not?
Well, defensive transition, you got to match up and identify guys, and Wilcox.
There's another look. This play hopping. Yeah. You heard from the Hampton marching band earlier. Crowd getting into it. Students are back on campus. And why not? Got a great game. Pirates up by 2, trying to snap a 7-game losing streak. 3:30 left and a little pressure from A&T.
Keep in mind, A&T has 16 fouls, so they're 1 foul away from the bonus. If I'm Hampton, I don't settle for a jump shot. Try to get a paint touch, put the pressure on A&T, and try to get in the bonus.
Dang with the fake. Goes strong to the hoop, fades away. Jerry Dang, have a night,
That's a big-time move. Big-time move with the lengthy extension, and it only took him 1 dribble or 2 dribbles to get to the basket with the 6'9" frame.
Glasper up top. They're going to get in their offense right now. 10 to shoot. Glasper splits the double team. Yes, sir.
Wow, that's a move made by a professional scorer. Even though he's not a pro yet, that was a professional scoring move because he was determined to get to the basket. Splits 2 guys and still gets the shot up.
And so free-flowing, but plays under control. As that ball's knocked away, so here come the Aggies on the turnover.
There haven't been a lot of turnovers. Both teams taking care of the ball, and that's one of the strengths of A&T. They are known for protecting the ball. 2nd in turnovers per game at just 9.5.
Glasper. Oh, yeah. Landon Glasper starting to feel it. 3rd straight game with 20 points this season.
And Wilcox just gave him too much airspace. Glasper made him pay.
And Eddie Joyner wants to talk about it with just over 2 minutes left. And this is what he was concerned about. His teams have played really well in the first half and have let games get away in the second half.
Yeah, well, being able to sustain it. Landon Glasper's a guy you got to devote all your attention to. That much space, that's a layup for him. He makes a pay.
Up by 1 with just over 2 minutes left. And look, these guys, they go down to the wire just about every time they play. This is last season, 25th of February at North Carolina A&T. Hampton, Raymond Bethea Jr. hit the jumper to tie the game at 65, forces OT. And OT, both teams trade baskets here. Austin Johnson with a layup in the paint. Then after a couple misses by the Pirates, A&T holds on for the 73-72 victory in OT. But this guy's here tonight.
Yes, he is, and he is a difference maker. As you can see, he is the guy that the last 5 games, all he does is put up numbers after numbers, and he's not afraid of the moment. He wants the ball. He wants to make that play, and he's also unselfish enough, so if you double him, he'll find the open man. He's just a handful, and that's why you've seen Ed Joyner have multiple guys try to give their shot at guarding him.
6 consecutive games with 20 or more points. It's 8th time this year that he scored 20 or more. Again, 4th in the CAA in scoring. He's a special player. 16 games this year out of 17 where he scored in double figures. The Pirates want to see if they have one last push. Nesbitt over to Dang for 3. The freshman calm, cool, and delivers.
That's just great execution out of a timeout. And how much confidence does it give this freshman Dang that he got his number called and he delivers big time?
Remember, he had 37 earlier this year against Mary Baldwin, so he's not afraid.
This ain't Mary Baldwin, no disrespect.
Good defense. Dang comes away with this ball on the pick, and he's going to the house. Good strip by Cam Shell.
Big time defensive play by Shell.
Shell looks, hesitates, great move.
Well, that's one of his patented moves, that crossover. And he did it low where no one could get to it, and he was able to get straight to the basket and a nice change of pace. This is some game. We got a minute left, and it's tied.
Tied up at 76 and just over a minute left. Will the Pirates snap their 7-game losing streak?
And this is who they want the ball in his hands right there.
Swoops across and lays it in.
Big time
Pirates
player.
by 2. Mackay fades away. It's off the mark. Itakutis. It's Kelvin Nichols comes up with it.
They're going to get a
And they call
timeout.
Timeout. Monty Ross wants to talk it over. Back for the last 11. Huddle right here.
Well, this is all about strategy right now. And with A&T's got the ball on the sideline, plenty of time to get a shot off. And you got two dynamic playmakers that have made their way. Dribble penetration has been their asset. More Shell than Glasper, but both of those guys are going to have one of them are going to have the ball. It's going to be some kind of screen and roll situation. And if you're Hampton, you want to switch everything now because now you're down to the point where it's 41 seconds left. You're up 2. You can't afford to give one of those guys, Shell or Glasper, a crack to get in the paint. So I think they're going to switch ball screens, dribble handoffs. They got to communicate on the back end and have backside help because both of those guys are great passers.
That man right there, Tedrick Wilcox, when they were down by 9 in the first half, he got fired up once they started chipping at that lead, and he has kept the intensity up and stayed on his teammates. He has displayed a ton of emotion in that.
He's one of their more experienced players, one of their vocal leaders. So important to a team when you're trying to get a win.
Glasper to Itakutis. Shot clock down to 15. They're trying to get it to Glasper, and they do. Glasper for 3.
Wow.
My goodness.
First of all, great screen by Itakutis. That was a screen. They call that a screen assist. Big time screen, and then Glasper just does what he does. Knocks down another big shot and looks at the crowd like, hey, this is what I'm made for.
That is a big-time shot from Landon Glasper.
And watch the screen here. It's a dribble handoff. And he came off that screen, off that catch, knowing one thing. Catch, elevate, and release. Number 7.
And will it be the dagger? There's 27.5 seconds left. See a 2.5 second shot clock differential.
Yeah, so there's a lot of time left. And if I'm Hampton, a couple things. If I'm Hampton, you want to get a good shot. You don't need a 3. Obviously, you're down 1. I put the pressure on A&T and attack the basket. I don't settle for a jump shot because one foul away, you're in the one-on-one bonus. Hampton still only has 3 fouls, so they have a little bit more of a cushion. But A&T has 6 fouls. So if I'm Hampton, I put the pressure on A&T, attack the basket, get some kind of screen and roll, dribble penetration. Well, I know this. You want the ball in Jordan Nesbitt's hands. When we talk to Coach Joyner.
What about the freshman? What about Dang?
Yeah, but Dang's not an initiator. Nesbitt's the ball handler. He's got to create and initiate. Dang might get the shot because he's been great. But I think Nesbitt's the guy that's going to have to make the decision and create the play for his teammates or himself.
Dang with 12 points tonight. But it's all been about that man right there, Landon Glasper. A&T, they've knocked down 5 of the last 6 shots, but Hampton has done them one better. 5 of the last 5. Here we go. 25 left.
Good spacing here. You want to have some spacing in.
Lucane. And Nesbitt backs it up. Pirates down by 1. Jordan Nesbitt working on Calvin Nichols. Back to Nesbitt. Shot clock at 7. It's Nesbitt. fades away. Yes! Jordan Nesbitt comes up big. Here comes Cam Shell. Down with 3 seconds left, the floater for the winner.
Wow!
Shell knocks it home. 1.2 seconds left. Are you kidding me?
And you hear a quiet gym right now because Shell refused to be denied, and he's delivered all night long. Big time play by the point guard.
Back to that shot. So here we are right here, guys. Cam Shell's runner. What do you think? What do you think? I'm waiting to get the word from you so we can tell America. All right, we're going with 1.4. And just so everyone at home is clear what happened there, the officials, they were having some issues with their monitor, so they couldn't see Cam Shell's runner go in. They simply came over, looked at our video, our replay. They just wanted to see when the ball went through how much time is left on the clock. So we stayed out of it. We let them make the call because we're neutral.
That's right. And they did a good job of reviewing it. We'll watch it here again.
And that's good work by the officiating crew. Lamar Shifton, Landis Poole, Jamel Spearman doing a nice job. They want to get it right.
So now they got Murphy at 6'9" on the inbounds to make it difficult.
Mitchell, Nesbitt lets it fly, and it's short. What a ball game here at the Convocation Center between the Pirates from Hampton and A&T. Cam Shell comes up with the runner after Jordan Nesbitt. He had a tough shot of his own, and A&T wins it 81-80. Here's another look. Nesbitt from beyond half court, and it comes up short. And Landon Glasper calmly delivered like he's done all year. And so the losing streak now, it runs to 8 games for the Pirates. Here's another look. Nesbitt got it off in time, but just didn't have enough on it. But what a fantastic game it was. North Carolina A&T, they come up with a huge 1-point victory. And after the break, Tariq Turner is going to talk to that man right there, Landon Glasper. Aggies win it by 1. It's here with the Pirates. Let's get to Tariq Turner with the stars of the game. Tariq?
Mr. Shell, what kind of play was that at the end? You got a few seconds to make a play, and you seal it with a runner. What was going through your head? Just describe that final play.
Man, we work on that situation all the time in practice. As our coach say, just get a shot up. And I've been working on that shot my whole life, really. But I knew it was good once it left my hands.
I call you Mr. Shell out of respect because you carried this team, both of you guys, dynamic backcourt. What does it mean to play with this man right here? You guys got a lot of history. You guys made a statement tonight on national TV as one of the top backcourts. It's got to feel good to come out with a win on the road.
Definitely, man. This is my brother. We done been in the JUCO together, so we done played years together. We got the chemistry already down pat, and I know what he like, and he also know what I like, so it's easier in the game.
Congratulations. Let me go on to you now. So you're known for being the scorer. You made some big plays tonight. How's it feel to know you're going to get the best effort from everybody's opposing team and still have to put up some big points?
Preparation. Preparation to God. I give it all to God, and I put myself in situations like that all the time because I know they're going to come after me every game. I just stay in the gym and believe in God, and help me out.
And what's it mean to your team coming off a tough loss to come into a hostile environment on MLK Day and get a win on the road?
I love these type of environments. I feel like the team loves these type of environments too. We knew it was going to be a big night, packed gym tonight because it's their Greek night, first day back at school. And we wasn't focused on that. We were just focused on getting the win.
Well, congratulations. Good luck with the rest of the season. All right.
All right, Tariq. Landon Glasper
is putting the rest of the CAA on notice. Big 24-point performance. So for Tariq Turner and our entire crew, I'm Fran Charles. It's been a presentation of CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. What a great day of basketball played on such a special day honoring Martin Luther King Jr. Now let's send it to the home court. Dan Hurley, so long for Hampton. We'll see you next time.